So this has been my project for probably like the last 6 months. I really needed a shop just for working on my dirt bikes. About 3 years ago, I moved in with my in-laws as me and my wife were getting married and building this house. And they had a spare building similar to this one. It's actually on the back side of the property. But I pretty much had like a 10 square foot cubby. And it just made it hard to work on things and really do anything other than putting my dirt bike in it. So I knew I needed like my own personal just shop, man cave area where I can work on dirt bikes, but also have a space to myself. The reason I did a portable building is because this is actually family land. Everything you see here is owned by my wife's family, my now in-laws. So I didn't want to build something permanent because I didn't know necessarily if this is where I'm going to live for the rest of my life, right? So I wanted to build something I could essentially have moved if the time being. So like I said, I didn't want to build something permanent because I don't know if I'm going to live here the rest of my life, right? So why not get something that I can build out and invest a lot of money in, and I can have it moved to, say, if me and my wife find a home somewhere else while we save. Unfortunately, with just the current housing market, it's kind of hard to get a home right now. So this just, to me, financially made the most sense. So I elected to go with a 12 by 24 portable shed. And pretty happy with the size. Obviously, would I have loved bigger? Yes, but it's just not necessarily wasn't in our budget. I got this shed for about $7,500, and it was kind of the best deal I could find. I did a lot of searching for like 2 months straight, but for the last 6 months, I've just now been building it out, and I'm excited to show you guys. So first off, went with this gray, black, white color. I think it's cool, looks good. We have this little sign right here that my father-in-law got me that I thought was pretty cool. I thought it would look good outside the building, kind of retro. But what's nice about it is both doors open. I will get a ramp here eventually. I just haven't had really the time to build it. What I did add to each door though, and both doors have this, is this little hook setup so that I can just come right here and latch it onto here, and it'll hold both doors open. It just makes it easier for putting bikes in and out. But it's like 20 degrees outside, so we're gonna shut that up, and here she is. So like I said, it is a 12 by 24. As you can see, I did have it spray foamed insulation, and I had these floor tiles put in. So these are the Vevor interlocking floor tiles. I love the way they look, and the budget, honestly, I like how cheap they were, and they're really super easy to install. The only thing looking back now is I kind of got these like drainage type floor tiles you can see. I wish I would have maybe went with a more solid, just because now dirt can kind of fall in between these. Thankfully, I'm kind of a neat freak. It's very rare that dirt gets in here. Honestly, the only reason I have dirt right now is just because it's been snowing, so it's kind of like a muddy mess outside. But I plan to get more rugs like this to just kind of spread out, put them under the bike, just in case I don't have time to clean the bike one day, to try to prevent that. But thankfully, they're easy to peel up. So if I do feel like a lot of dirt has gotten in there and I need to clean them, I can peel them up. Do have the spray foam insulation. Obviously went with this black, just spray painted it all, and I have these like 1 by 8 inch thick panels. I didn't really want to do drywall. I did drywall my house. It's not fun, so I tried to take the easiest route out, and I had these like 1/8 thick panels. They were pretty easy set up, not that bad. The only issue is they're very thin, so they can kind of warp. Even me going to each stud, they warped a little bit, but it is what it is. I'm not too picky about it. Most of the walls are covered anyways, as you can see, so it's not that big of an issue. But my plan now is I'll just go around counterclockwise around the whole building, talk about everything, some of the ideas I did and all that stuff, and we'll give you a full shop tour. So starting out, as you can see, this is kind of like the workspace where all my tools are, and if I'm doing bike work, and this is more like the chill little exercise bike. My wife will do like her Pilates stuff right here kind of space. Starting out, I actually have this poster. This is a signed Chad Reed poster. My in-laws, they're hilarious. I love them for it. They don't know a lot about dirt bikes, so they kind of like buy these just weird dirt bike gifts, but honestly, they make some of them the best gifts. And a couple years back, my father-in-law was like, yo, who's your favorite dirt bike rider ever? And I'm like, oh, Chad Reed. And he ended up finding this Chad Reed poster from like 2000 and, oh, I'm not even going to know, Samuel Yamaha, maybe 2005, 2006. But it's like this Thor collection poster. And so signed by Chad already. When I went to club this year, I actually had Tate and Kaya sign it. I wanted to get an Ellie Reed signature as well, but she unfortunately wasn't at club while I was there. But so that's what that is. And honestly, I really like this poster. It's really cool. It means a lot to me. And it was honestly a really good gift. Right there, we just have my ramp for when I'm loading it into my truck. Right here, this is actually very meaningful to me. So when I graduated high school, I was actually originally enrolled in college to be a teacher. So my grandpa actually bought me this just because he thought it was hilarious. And he ended up actually passing away in 2020 during COVID. And this was like one of the last things he ever gave me. So for me, it's just super meaningful. I ended up actually not being a teacher, but for me, that's just super meaningful. So that's why that's there. And then here is my work desk area. So MacBid was my best friend in this whole process. I actually found this desk on MacBid. It's pretty nice. I'll be honest. It's a pain in the butt to put together. It took like 4 hours. But I went on MacBid for like $60. Super nice. It's got this pegboard set up. And then you kind of have a little light that eventually cuts on. And then I decided to add these pegboard panels around the whole thing as well. They just kind of nail into the wall. And I tried to just put all my most used tools on the pegboards. That way it's just easy to get to. So like you have all my T-handles, metric wrenches, some air filters when I want them to dry, and then my Torx bits, needle nose pliers, just all kinds of stuff, drill, Allen wrenches, that kind of stuff. So I just tried to put the most common use, easy accessible tools. And then I also have like a nice little space. So we got my charger, this little humidifier thing, water bottle, napkins, whatever. And then I have just a bunch of torque rates on my KTM, and then also like a fork alignment reinstall process that I follow. Yes, this is powered. I actually did the power myself. Thankfully, through my work and just my job experience, I'm pretty handsy when it comes to electrical stuff, so I was actually able just to run power myself. Right now, I only use 120. I can do 210 if I need it, or 220 if I need it, but at this moment in time, I'm not really running anything in here that needs it, so that's not the biggest of an issue. One thing you're also going to notice is I label everything. I have really bad OCD. I like for things to be labeled and in place and neat and organized. So I had a label maker, and you're going to see pretty much everything I have in here is labeled. Right here, just a simple chemical cabinet, and we just have sections, right? Like cleaners, oil, lubricants, that kind of stuff. And then just a couple of trophies from some past races. We got the KTM poster that my father got me for my birthday last year. And then right here is actually kind of like a storage area. So these are from Lowe's. They might look familiar to you. It's just these Lowe's bins. Super cheap, but you get this humongous storage rack. So I've just kind of used it for storage. I have like woodworking supplies, extra bike parts, KTM plastics, and then me and my wife also have some like our winter clothes or summer clothes in here. And then just a little shelf to hold like my tents and chairs. Right here, we have my baby, my 2023 KTM 250 SXF. This is my pride and joy. This bike is never allowed to leave. I've talked about it a little bit. For me, this bike means so much to me because it was just such a life accomplishment. And then we have my wife's dirt bike. It's my wife's technically, but let's be honest, I ride it the most. Our 2022, I think it's a 2022 CRF 110 that I bought off my buddy Daniel. I had a lot of plans to do a lot of mods to this thing, but I'll be honest, I ride it so much and I'm pretty hard on it that I'm just kind of like, whatever. We might do some graphics eventually, but I'm in no hurry. Right here we got my tire changing stand. I got tired of having to pay people to change tires for me, so I just finally sucked up and learned it all. And then just my toolbox, just all my tools, whatever, specialty tools, that kind of stuff. Each drawer is labeled. I know some of you are saying, man, you still don't have a lot of room to work on your bike. What's nice about this is I can actually just move the bike out of the way, right? Like I can move if I need to do some top end rebuild or something on my 250, I can move the bike out of the way and I can center right here perfect. That's why I kind of try to leave all this open room, because I tried to make it where I could fit 3 bikes in here comfortably. If that makes sense. I don't ever plan on having more than 3 bikes. This bike's never going anywhere. I like having the 110 because it's just nice to have it around, especially around the house and put on. And I plan to get a 450 down the road one day. Who knows when. And as you'll see, I do have the Hexagon lights set up. I know those get a lot of hate in the garage man cave world, but I'll be honest, I think they look sick. I'm not complaining at all, and they're super bright. So that's what we want those. Pretty easy to install once I kind of figured it out. It was just a little annoying with the rafters. You have to like get these wires, but you can get them on Amazon for like 20 bucks. If there's anything in here you guys are like, hey man, can I get a link or whatever to get that from, just hit me up, shoot it in the comments, and I'll do my best to get you a link. Most of this stuff either came from MacBid or Amazon, and I actually think the floor tiles came from TikTok Shop, ironically. So right here is super meaningful. I don't think I've ever actually shared this on the YouTube channel. When me and my wife got married in 2024, she knew that I would somehow want to incorporate my dirt bike in the wedding. But my wife has always dreamed of a very traditional, just formal wedding. And she's like, I just don't want it to come off trashy. So I had to come up with a way that I can put this bike in the wedding, but also make it like not this loud a nuisance, right? Because my wife, she respected me enough to let me do the dirt bike, but I also have the respect to her of giving her her dream wedding, right? Because that's what girls dream of all their life. So what I ended up coming up with, and I'll throw pictures in this process, is I fully made the bike white, and it was actually what everyone in our family signed. So through here, you'll actually see these are all family signatures that of everyone who was at our wedding. I have a couple other pieces that I need to try to get hang up that have a couple signatures, but these were the main 2, family and friends. And then right here was actually just our wedding party. Only they were allowed to sign the front number plate. And I actually had my buddy Jason Dragnetti at Primetime Designs make this little graphic for us. So Brandon and Eddie, and we got married on 4/20/2024. Haha, I already know what you guys are thinking. So now we move over here. This is kind of like the relaxing exercise side. We have this neon light sign that my wife got me for my birthday. Super sweet, really like it. I originally had it over there, but it was just kind of goofy the way it was sitting. So I hung it up right there, and I think it looks really good. We have our Peloton bike. My family actually got this on MacBid, and then they gave it to me. I'll be honest though, this is the biggest ripoff ever. I do not recommend getting a Peloton bike. It's so stupid. So for me to actually use any of the features on this touchscreen, I have to pay a $50 a month subscription. I'm not doing that. So what I did is I actually just had ChatGPT write me a workout plan, because I'm not paying $50 a month just to have to use this TV screen. Over here, my stepmom got me this for Christmas. It's a really cool setup. We got all my helmets, some spare goggles and gloves. And then we got my LeBron James pop doll. For those of you who know me, I absolutely love LeBron James. I think he's the greatest basketball player ever. I know that's probably going to make a lot of you upset. I'm sorry. It's just my opinion. And then we got a Jeff Walker signed jersey. And then we have a Kyle Bitterman jersey. So Kyle Bitterman is actually my town, the upstate of South Carolina. He's like our local pro. Qualified for multiple supercrosses and motocrosses, and he's a pretty high name in the arena cross series. So I actually see him around a good bit at tracks and stuff. And I asked him one day, I was like, yo dude, can I get a jersey? Unfortunately, it's not a 581 jersey. That's actually like his most used number, but it's all right. It's still a Bitterman jersey. This was actually his arena cross number, but he is known as the 581. Right here, we just have all my gear. We have up my gear bag, helmet bags, all my gear. Even though I only wear like 2 of them, I need to start really cleaning that out. And then we got my boots, a speaker for when I'm in here, and then my skateboard that I used to get around in college. Speaking of college, this was actually my college couch. I absolutely love this couch. It is so freaking comfy. It's been sitting in our storage forever, and I was finally so happy to get into here because I just love this couch. It's so comfy. It took a lot of naps on it. And then we also have just this little shelf of just more dirt bike toys that like my in-laws get me, because like I said, they're not really involved in motocross, so they just kind of get these like weird dirt bike novelty stuff. But honestly, it's some of my favorite gifts because I just think it's really cool. So these little toy dirt bikes I had to build, and then like these little supercross toys. And that's a picture of me and my brother. My brother's absolutely my best friend, so I wanted to get something in here with him. I actually have a picture of my dad over here in this corner, and I'm getting a picture of me and my mom printed now. So Mom, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, do not freak out. And then up there is just actually spare more storage, just kind of lofted, and I allowed myself, if I run out of storage, I can actually extend the loft need be. Right now I don't need it, so that's just extra storage kind of area. I have a window unit right there for when it gets summertime. I'll probably put it in here, that way it can have some cool AC. But right now it's like 20 degrees outside here in upstate, so I have a heater. This heater works so good. I got it at Lowe's. Have no issues with it. And then we just have a CO2 sensor down there as well. Obviously you want a CO2 sensor in here, being that you have gas vehicles in here. Right here is actually my dog's area. This is where she hangs out. I don't know if I've showed my dog on the YouTube. I'll throw up some clips. About 8 months ago, me and my wife got us a bloodhound puppy, named her Loretta. Those of you who are motocross fans can obviously guess where I got that name from, but that's her little area where she sits and hangs out while I like ride my bike or something. But other than that, that is pretty much it. I am really happy with how it turned out. A lot of growing pains, but also a lot of learning, and also just a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun organizing it and kind of getting it how I want. And I'm really thankful now to have this workstation because I didn't before. One reason I just wanted an area is I want to expand my knowledge on how to working on dirt bikes. So that means like starting to do top end rebuilds and that kind of stuff. And also, if I get good at that stuff, I can help out my friends and family, because for me, working on dirt bikes is honestly kind of like a therapy. I really do just enjoy it. So if my friends or whatever need top end rebuilds, right, I can charge them a really cheap price, because let's face it, getting these things worked on top end rebuilds is pretty expensive. For me, it's a therapy, so I have no problem helping my friends and family out. I actually have a TTR 125 that I'll be putting in here next week that I'm going to be doing a full rebuild on for actually an old youth group kid. So that was another reason I wanted to do it, just to help out. And for me, it's like this therapy, right? This is a place where I can come and do my bike spins and work on dirt bikes and that kind of stuff. So I'm really happy with how it turned out. I honestly think it looks really good. I was really worried about it kind of just looking messy and not that well put together, but I'm honestly really happy with how it turned out. I'll probably get some more pictures of friends and family right here. I would love to get some more jerseys. I have a Michael Mosman jersey on the way that I'll have to hang up somewhere, and potentially I'll put a TV right here. That's why this outlet's right here, that I can potentially run a TV to. But other than that, that's it. Really excited I got it done, and now I'm just ready to ride my dirt bike. I need the weather to heat up here in the south. We've been getting hit with some snow over the last couple weekends, which is rare for us, but it's unfortunately made it where I can't ride. I actually haven't ridden in over a month, so happy to get back on the bike. I hope you guys like this. Like I said, if there's anything you see in here you want me to link or give you some advice and help out on, hit me up. I will let you know, and we will see you guys in the next video.